Ever wondered how your phones know the difference between a number and a text message? It all comes down to data type. In this video, we are diving into how Python understands the data, store in it a variable, and process into a meaningful information. Let's make sense of it all, one byte at a time. Let's start off it. So first thing is, what is data? Data means raw value or raw information. Okay, that does not have any value. Means we have a string, we have a number, it could be anything, but it's not actually complete information. Then what is information? Information is processed data that have some meaning. Means, for example, a student's total marks after sum of the score of the different subject, that is we call informations. Okay, and information processed by program. So whatever the information we have, we are processed in a program, right? And what is statement? Okay, statement means a single instruction in a program that perform an action. Okay, for example, we wanted to write down a print hello. Okay, this is we called as a statement. So data is raw part. So information work on the data, and we will write down the statement in the form of information in a programming we will write down. Okay, what is variables? Variable is a you can say storage. There we wanted to store some value. For example, I wanted to store x value 10 over here. The x value will be store the value of the 10. So here x is the variables. Variables, another meaning is changing over the time. So this x variables can possible to change to the 20 also, right? So that is we call variables. Another thing is instructions. So what is instruction is? Instruction is set of operation perform on a data to produce meaningful result or produce the informations. Okay, so we have set of instructions. Okay, these instructions work on the data, and what it will give it to us? Informations. Okay, and these instructions, these statement, where we will write down in a program. Okay, so that's the way we will make a program. In the program, in the form of the data, we will write down the instructions. Okay, or we can say statement also. The statement and instruction is both are the same. Statement generally we call it single instructions. Okay, here we can see what is variable is. Variable are the name given to data or reference to the data. Okay, that is we call variables, means x equal to 10. So variables are the name. So this is variables we have. Okay, what happened to data when program runs? So what happened to data? So this is data. What happened to it? The data occupy memory as a program runs. So this will occupy memory somewhere, and that memory is actually nothing. That is actually we have some address we have. There it will actually occupy it actually. Okay, how do we declare a variable in the Python? Python we can declare a variable, guys, simply a equal to 10, b equal to 20, c equal to a plus b. We does not require any data type. Any data type we don't require it. Okay, so directly we can write down. So Python is actually dynamic type. Python does not have static type. Static type language is there we need to define the type while actually declaring the variables. So if I declare a variables integer a equal to 10, that is means static. Okay, or like I can write down boolean b equal to true. So this is called static type. But in the Python we can write down b equal to 2 like it. Okay, so this is dynamic in nature. So T should be capital in the Python, dynamic nature. Okay, at the runtime Python will determine what is the data type of this variables. It won't be actually identify the data type. Python is dynamic type. So meaning is if I declare this a variables over here, I can change this variables again to string also. That is again possible. It's similar to the what we have in the JavaScript. Okay, so Python is dynamic type in nature. So Python declare and initialization of variable together, right? Means in the Python we cannot declare a variables. In the Python we cannot leave the variables like a way. Later on I will initialization value. This is totally wrong. It won't be supported. Okay, in the Python, in fact, if we declare a variables, we need to be give some value at a time. Means at the time of declaration we need to initialization the value also. Okay, no data type is required for variables in a Python. That was the true. So we don't require any data type. How the Python will understand the data type? By the values. At the runtime, it will check what is the value. According to that, it will create the type. Okay, so let's see all these things in a program. So in the last time, we already set up and installed the Python. This is Visual Studio, guys. You can actually install the Python. You guys can So you guys can check my previous video. You need to be simply install the Python from python.org website. Once you install it in Visual Studio, you can actually install one extension also. Here we can directly write down a equal to 10. To print it, we can simply write down print statement and value of a. Okay. Once I write down, I can just execute this button. I will get the output over here. This is the 10 value come from there. So as I told you, if I declare a 10 value, later on I can change it also any other value. So what is the type of this ABC value? How we will get it? Type of any variables we can get it like a way. Suppose I wanted to check these two type. What is the type in the first statement and what is the type of while we are assigning the string of it. So we'll check. We can see this is the integer and this is string over here, right? So the same variables, once we change the value, it type also will change it. So that's why the Python is actually dynamic in nature. One more thing, as I told you, at the time of declaration, we need to give the value also. Suppose I'm giving the value over here x equal to 10. We need to give it. I cannot left like away, or I cannot directly print the value that I didn't declare. Here also we can see y is not defined. Okay, and when we run it also, we'll get an error also. Okay, so we cannot declare like a way. We cannot left the declaration like a way. That is not possible in the Python. If you declare a variable, we should assign a value also. Always remember this one also, guys. Another thing, we can declare a Python variable like a way also. Suppose I'm declaring ABC, and here I'm actually assigning the value. So these value will be 10 value go into A, 20 in B, and 30 in the C. So like a way, we can declare a multiple variable also. Even we can write down over here some string also. So because we does not have any data type, as the value we assign it, it will become such kind of data type also. Another thing is variable declaration initialization in Python. So this is the same thing, guys, as I showed you in the program. So how do you declare a variable initialization variables? Like this one, we can declare it and initialization also. Can you create a variable without assigning a value in the Python? No, we cannot be declare a variables without assigning a value to it. When should you define a variables? You should define a variable only when you have data to store in it. So definitely we cannot declare a variable and we can left it. Later on I will assign it like the other programming language. Python is not supported that part. So we should be always declare variables and give the assigned value. We cannot be live like a way that is not supported. Okay. So this is clear, guys. Okay. Another thing is understanding Python variable typing it. We have value assignment. Assigning a value to a variable determine the type. As I told you, while assigning the value, and actually if we cite also, we are assigning the value, then according to this value, it will become the type of the A value, right? So that's why the Python is dynamic type. Okay. This is the dynamic type in the nature. Variable declaration, process of creating a variables in the Python. So we need to declare a variable. That time actually it will create a variables value over here, right? Another thing is how to name of the variable in Python. This is very important, guys, and variable is actually first and primary thing to be declared, or to write down any program. We need to be declared it always, right? We should be write down a proper variable, and this is actually coming as a Python standard only. And Python standard we have, I think one of the document is Py8 exactly. You can search it on the Google and there you will see the all the standard also. Okay, the first thing is starting with letter or underscore. Okay, and the variable name is valid and recognitions, meaning name always start with the letter or underscore. Okay, it should not start like a way a var. That is not a valid name. Okay, means A1 is the number. We should not be start with the number. So what we can start it, we can start ABC, that is valid, or we can start XYZ underscore ABC like a way. Okay, so Python generally is following actually. If you have the two word, you can write down XYZ underscore ABC. Other language we have like ABC X capital YZ like a way, but we have the Pascal, camel case. This is a snake case. We have it. So we have the multiple word. Another use allowed character maintains the integrity and the readability of the variable's name. Means in the Python we should be use the letter, number, or underscore. We can write down A B C 1 X Y Z like, means we can write down the number, but we cannot use like user hyphen name or dollar name like a way it won't supported it. Okay, so means no special character, it won't be supported also. Okay, another thing is avoid keyword. Avoid keyword means whatever the Python standard keyword or whatever the Python has the reserved keyword, okay, that we should not use it. Meaning is like, for example, if class, right, def 4, these are the reserved keyword. Every programming language has their some reserved keyword, and we should not declare their variable with these reserved keyword. Why? Because otherwise how the compiler will understand this is variable or we are declaring some kind of exactly function or something else. Okay, so we should not use it also. Another thing is case sensitive. Okay, ensure that distinct variable name and avoid confusion. Meaning is whatever the variable we are declaring it, if you're writing down suppose name or name, these are the two variables, but we call name and name look like the same, but these are the two variables. So Python is case sensitive language. Okay, capital and small letter they had meaning is okay. No space are allowed. More thing, in Python variable we could not write down any space. Meaning is ABC space XYZ, it should not be. The ideal way to write down, as I told you, we should use the underscore only. Okay, so these are the points and these are the way we can declare a Python variables. Another thing is the built-in data type. Right now we are talking about Python, not the TypeScript. So this is guys Python only. Okay, built-in data type. So every programming language we have some primitive data type. Primitive data type means data type directly came with the language or that holds a single value. We cannot divide these values actually further it also single value. Okay. Some we have reference data type or we can say non-primitive data type. That data type is made by the primitive data type only. So we have the numeric data type. Numeric means we have the integer, float and the complex. We have these are the three data type that we have in the numeric. Okay, we does not have long, we does not have double. Everything we have in the integer, float and the complex only. Okay, integer means the value negative or positive, all are the integer, the number only. Float value means when we have the decimal point, these are the float point. Okay, it could be anything, it could be any range also guys. In Python, if I write down actually number like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it will be converted into long or big int. No, it will be remain same as an integer only. Another one we have the complex. As we know, Python is actually algorithm, data science language or scientific language. So Python has holding is the complex also. Complex meaning is, if you guys know iota, a of iota means actually complex, or we can say imaginary number that will recognize by the I in the mathematics, but in the Python we are recognized with the J. J is the letter that is actually we use for imaginary part. Another one we have the Boolean type. Boolean type is the same, true and false, but here true is the capital, false is the capital. Remember this one. And this is also one of the integer data type. How? True means 1 guys and false means 0. Remember this point also. As we have in the SQL server, similar to that. Here true means 1 and 0 means false. Okay. Another one is the text type. Text type means string. In the Python, string we can write down in single quotes or either we can write down in double quotes. Okay, all are the valid actually in single quote or either in the double quote. In Python, if I write down this one, this is also string, not a character. Okay, some language if I write down a single character, that will they understand as a character only. But in Python, everything is the string only. So these are the guys the primitive data type of the Python. Okay, so that's it for this video guys. You guys can just go through this one and see you guys in the next video. Till that time, happy coding.